2.5 centuries ago, America was born here in Philadelphia.
We signed the Declaration of Independence. We're the birthplace of the nation.
250 years later, we celebrate and reflect.
To be Philly proud is really to just be one people.
I just think that everyone here is full of love.
A history woven into communities and faith.
Mother Bethel has been that place of refuge and sanctuary of care.
A legacy entwined in sports and culture.
I grew up coming here. It's just one of those places that's filled with aura.
The sport of rowing and the story of our nation are perfectly linked together.
All telling the tale of a country proudly founded in Philly.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Yuki Washington.
And I'm Nikki Dementri. Welcome to our Founded in Philly special. This week, America turns 250 years old.
Philadelphia is the epicenter of celebrations and has been the heart of this country for generations. Tonight, we're diving into our proud history and the mark we've made on our nation.
So while America celebrates 250 years, the Ben Franklin Bridge is turning 100 years old.
Yeah, it's one of our nation's great bridges, connecting the city and South Jersey and spanning the length of almost 27 football fields.
That is just crazy. When it opened in 1926, the Ben Franklin Bridge was the longest suspension bridge in the world. Our Joe Holden has more on this proud Philly piece of Philadelphia skyline.
The Bend has its own soundtrack, the rumble of trucks, the hum of cars, the clatter of trains, a nonstop, irregular rhythm.
Marvelous structure, that's what speaks volume. That I was really concerned about feeling some vibration, but not much.
It's been this way for 100 years now.
I feel like this is where I find most of my peace.
The Benjamin Franklin Bridge, originally called the Delaware River Bridge, began taking shape in 1922. Stretching 9,600 feet, it cut across the waterfronts of Philadelphia and Camden. Its towers rising some 385 feet. Construction costs back then totaled $37 million.
Taking the weight of the bridge roadway.
Michael Howard is principal engineer for the Delaware River Port Authority, which owns the crossing. The bridge took 4.5 years to build. It replaced ferry boats.
There was a lot of congestion, and because both Philadelphia and Camden were industrial mites at the time, and so there was talk of building a crossing as far back as 1818.
The Bend would hold the title of the world's longest suspension bridge for 3 years. When it opened July 1st, 1926, to cross by automobile was a quarter. Horse and buggy was 10 cents cheaper.
It was built to accommodate 6 lanes of traffic, 2 lanes for trolleys, and 2 outer lanes, track areas for what we call heavy rail or subway operation.
Today, the trolleys and horses are gone. There are 7 lanes for traffic. The road zipper can move the center barrier, increasing lanes for additional volume.
I just love the scenery, seeing the water.
The baby blue Ben Franklin Bridge actually used to be gray, and then in time for the country's bicentennial in 1976, it got its standard coat of what's known as Ben Franklin blue. But up here, the work never ends. You can see fading shades and camouflages of blue. Inspectors say it is a never-ending cycle of maintenance. How old do you think this bridge is?
At least 200 years.
Turns 100 this year. Engineers say they keep on top of things
to ensure that the bridge stays its full useful life long after all of us here are gone.
One of Philadelphia's most iconic landmarks is Boathouse Row.
And most of these boathouses date back to the 1800s. Their lights have welcomed generations into this city.
But as our Madeline Wright shows you, behind the lights is a proud history still in motion.
Heads ready, up! The next generation of rowers is carrying on a tradition that runs deep along the Schuylkill. For Matthew Kennedy, it's an opportunity he doesn't take for granted.
Boathouse Row is, just like one of the largest rowing communities in the world, and it's very vibrant, and I think it's like a privilege to be able to row here.
Kennedy rows for Drexel, one of several teams that call these historic boathouses home. Just steps away along Kelly Drive, people stop to take it all in.
I think Boathouse Row is really amazing.
Step inside and the history is hard to miss. Boats below, trophies above. each one a reminder of generations that have rode these waters.
So this was a regatta that took place in 1876.
Bonnie Mueller with the Schuylkill Navy says this stretch of river defined the sport in America.
What a lot of people don't recognize is that Boathouse Row, Schuylkill River, is really the birthplace of American rowing.
The first competitive rowing races in the U.S. started here around 1835. Now, as the nation approaches another milestone, Boathouse Row's legacy lives on.
There's so many different teams, like club teams here, master's programs, college programs, high school programs, and everyone's out on like the same 5K stretch of water, and you see everybody every day, so it's a very unique place.
From the waters of the Schuylkill to the hardwood in West Philadelphia.
I played on this floor when I was in college at the University of Richmond. Yeah, the Palestra is one of a few special arenas that has stood the test of time. As Theophilus reports, it's known as much for the history witnessed there as well as the memories and lives it helped to shape.
Jim O'Brien casts off from the top of the key and makes it.
The doors opened at the Palestra on January 1st, 1927. Greek professor Dr. William N. Bates suggested that name because in ancient Greece, athletes would compete in various sports in a rectangular enclosure known as a palestra in front of an audience. The Palestra on the campus of the University of Pennsylvania, however, is one of a kind.
It has to do with the ghosts that are in here. Those ghosts live in not just the players and the coaches and the games. It's the people that sat in these seats.
I grew up coming here. It was a bunch of guys in the neighborhood.
Looks the same as it did when I walked in this building 55, 60 years ago.
What's known as the Big Five, an intra-city competition between LaSalle, St. Joe's, Temple, Penn, and Villanova, was created in late 1954. The Palestra was its home.
The spirit, the rivalry, many of the participants grew up in the Philadelphia area. They played against each other on the playgrounds. When you talk about history, and not just sports history, have meaning for all of us, the Palestra is one of those.
I can't tell you the number of people over the years that would tell me, I had my first date here, and then I married my wife because of that experience I had at the Palestra. It's just one of those places that's filled with aura.
Sociologically, too, Siafa, this was a place where everybody could come.
And you think back to the 60s and 70s, different times. We were all together for the same purpose, to watch great basketball. You sort of saw the transformation in how communities operate. Because quite frankly, in those days, it was fairly segregated.
The more you listen, the more apparent it is that the Palestra isn't just another stadium, it's a shrine.
People marvel when they walk into this building, they look around. But I mean, I remember I saw Kobe Bryant play here in high school.
You and I were looking at the 1958 all-opponent team. Wilt Chamberlain, Kansas. Oscar Robertson, Cincinnati. Jerry West, West Virginia. Whew. Played on this floor against Big Five teams.
The corridor at the Palestra is literally a museum of college and Philadelphia basketball.
We've had tennis matches here. We had a Virginia Slims tournament back in the 1970s in the early days of women's tennis. The Palestra was a mess hall during World War II for 3 years.
It is apparent that mere words do not do this place justice, nor can the story about it which you're watching. The Palestra is more than the games played here, the legends who coached here, the players who enthralled the crowds.
Right side, St. Joe's playing his own. Now Collins on top of the key, it's in.
The Palestra is Philadelphia. It is the best of us.
Of all the honors and the accolades and the wins and even the losses, if they were to put on my headstone, coached in the Palestra, that'd be worth it.
From the hallways of CHOP to hospitals all across the country.
Still ahead, the breakthrough cancer treatment developed right here in Philadelphia and the young woman whose life it saved. Welcome back to our Founded in Philly special.
Philadelphia is home to historic places and iconic landmarks, but it's also the birthplace of a medical breakthrough, and we are very proud to say it's saving lives even today.
We love this story. Our Stephanie Stahl tells us about the woman who has become the face of curing cancer.
You're just such an inspiration, and we just love your story so much.
In the hallways at CHOP, 20-year-old Emily Whitehead with her dad
is a celebrity.
Thank you, guys.
In 2012, Emily was the first pediatric patient to get a breakthrough cancer treatment that saved her life and is now helping others.
Emily made it safe for the 40,000 patients that have followed.
Dr. Stephen Grupp, the head of cellular therapy at CHOP, treated Emily.
I think growing up having that experience, I think has changed my life in a lot of ways.
Emily had leukemia that didn't respond to traditional treatments. Her desperate parents turned to CHOP that was about to start experimenting with something called CAR T therapy.
We take the patient's own immune cells, called T cells. We retrain them in the lab using a genetic technique to teach them how to fight, recognize, and kill cancer.
Even though it had never been tried on a child, Emily's parents said yes. Was that decision scary?
Oh, it was very stressful at that time. It was the choice of going home on hospice or trying something brand new, so that decision was pretty easy.
Emily was 6 at the time.
I remember some of the fun things that we did, but from the treatment, not as much.
Emily had complications. To save her life, CHOP doctors tried another experimental treatment to control the side effects, and it worked.
Not only was it the first treatment ever FDA approved, but it was also the first treatment where we learned how to control the side effects related to CAR T, making it safe.
It cured her?
It cured her. It took me 10 years before I was willing to say that.
Emily is a junior now at Penn, majoring in English and still adjusting to her celebrity status that laid the foundation for so many others.
I'm really happy that I was able to do that. It's not just my story now.
To help other cancer patients, Emily and her parents established the Emily Whitehead Foundation.
I was getting calls from parents from all over the world saying, we're being sent home on hospice. Our mission every day is just to help the next family or a patient, which we get calls from adults too, to have the same outcome that we've had.
The trailblazer who's become the face of curing cancer with a therapy developed here in the city of brotherly love.
This is a Philadelphia story all the way.
At least 20,000 people have received CAR T treatment, with success rates ranging from 50 to 90%.
And still ahead, a distinct dialect that's defined our region. It takes Philly pride to the next level.
Thanks for staying with us. All right, it's going to be one of the most recognizable accents in the country.
From water to John.
That was good.
The Philly accent is uniquely our own. Josh Sanders has more on what defines this distinct and proud dialect.
As soon as you hear it, you just know where they from.
One of the most studied accents in America is right here in Philadelphia.
Water is definitely a big one. Yeah.
Water.
Water's a big thing.
Huge. Water ice.
Water ice.
What are you gonna do?
And language experts can't get enough of it.
It's the gold standard of sociolinguistics, basically.
That's linguistics expert Dr. Brian McHugh at Temple University, who says Philly's accent can be traced back across the water to the northern part of England. But it's all about how our vowels hit.
The way we pronounce the short A vowel, the A vowel, the pattern of where we have A and where we have A is what is unique about Philadelphia.
But most people who call Philly home don't even think they have an accent.
People think that we have an accent, but, you know, I think that everybody else has an accent. This is just us, you know, this is how we talk. And
it's ours. I mean, nobody can match it. And when people say you have an accent, we look at them like they're crazy. I mean, we just, you know, that's normal talk for us.
Whether you grew up in South Philly, North Philly, or the Northeast, people say you can hear home the second someone opens their mouth.
It can be from South Philly, it can be from, you know, up what we call uptown, is what we call West Oak Lane. It can be north, it can be, you know, like I said, northeast. If I'm out of town and I hear John, I know exactly, like, oh, somebody from home is in here.
So the next time someone tries to mock the way you ask for a glass of water, just remind them you're not saying it wrong, you're just speaking Philly.
Our city has made its mark on history in many ways, including with the nation's very first zoo.
Since July 1st, 1874, the Philadelphia Zoo has been an oasis of conservation, education, and of course, Philly pride.
Having America's first zoo in the city that started it all, it just makes sense.
Every year, some 1 million visitors walk the 42 acres that make up Philadelphia Zoo.
We've always been an animals first, conservation-based organization with a focus on community and learning and engagement and making sure that the world remains a better place for wildlife.
That mission started in March of 1859 when the Commonwealth, quote, approved and signed the Charter for the Zoological Society of Philadelphia. 15 years later, due to delays during the Civil War, the zoo finally opened, welcoming more than 3,000 people, adding another first to the city's history.
When Philadelphia Zoo first opened, we actually housed 592 animals right here at 34th and Girard. Since then, however, we have definitely expanded.
Today, there's 1,900 different animals living here. The oldest, Mommy the Galapagos tortoise. She shot to international fame last year after giving birth to 16 hatchlings in her late 90s.
Mommy has lived here since 1932, if you can believe it. She is nearly 100 years old.
More than 100 years old, though, is some of the architecture at the zoo, like the beloved treehouse here. Many of us know it as an indoor playground. However,
it was constructed around 1877 and was originally designed to house animals like antelope and even giraffe, hence that very tall roof that you see there.
As the zoo grew and evolved, animal care practices changed with it. Giraffes have enjoyed their outdoor enclosures for years here, like Bee on this beautiful day. Check out Turbo the Andean bear. We were there for one of the first times a bear walked the new Zoo 360 trail at Cary Bear Country.
We've been planning for it for more than 3 years, and it is finally here.
That's one way the zoo says it's celebrating the nation's 250th. Another are through the return of zootopiaries, like this one of a bald eagle. Then there's the Philly Zoo Ferris wheel.
It's 110 feet tall. It's going to give you immaculate views of the Schuylkill River, the city skyline.
So with the old comes the new, and the storied history of Philadelphia Zoo lives on.
We are so unbelievably proud of our past, and we carry it with us in every decision that we make, but we are the zoo of the future.
From outside at the zoo to inside now with the pews of the oldest African Methodist Episcopal Church in the nation.
And Natasha Brown has more on the role this proud congregation has played in the African American community for generations.
Here we are in Mother Bethel African Methodist Episcopal Church, which sits on the oldest parcel of land continuously owned by African Americans, purchased by Richard and Flora Allen in 1791.
Deep-rooted history lies in every crevice of Mother Bethel African Methodist Episcopal Church, beginning with its founder.
We can think about, the story and struggle of Richard Allen, certainly a freedom fighter, certainly an apostle of freedom and justice and hope.
The historic church sits at 6th and Lombard and still looms large as the mother of its denomination.
We are the mother church of our denomination, and so we, the African Methodist Episcopal Church, founded April 9th, 1816. Her home is right here, Mother Bethel. We are the first church.
Reverend Carolyn Cavanis is the senior pastor of the church and has made history in her own right.
Very much honored to serve as the 53rd pastor and also her first female pastor of this congregation.
The church is home to anywhere between 800 to 1,000 members, many third and fourth generation legacy congregation members. It's only fitting that this historic church be a focal point in Philadelphia's 250th anniversary celebration this year.
We have deemed our contribution to this celebration celebrating Black excellence from America's beginning. That we, as people of African descent, have been here from the onset. We have made considerable contribution.
Reverend Cavanis is excited to introduce to some and reintroduce to others the significance of this church to America's history, to Philadelphia's history.
And that it is not an accident that here Mother Bethel is nestled and you're within range of where the first White House and where independence was written.
250 celebration programs are running at Mother Bethel AME Church all year long.
All right, Yuki, let's switch gears a little bit here.
All right.
America's oldest brewery is right here in Pennsylvania. So when we come back, I'll take you behind the scenes of the family-owned company and its legendary lager.
Cheers. Welcome back, everyone. You know, in Philly, we take a lot of pride in our food.
Okay, we love this segment because the most iconic, we're going to award that to the cheesesteak. It was invented in 1930 when a hot dog vendor tossed some beef and onions on a flat top. Voila, it turned into a sandwich. And now it's a quintessential staple in the city of brotherly love.
Now, Philly is also home to a long-standing tradition almost a century old. In 1932 at Arch and Broad Streets, Girl Scouts sold cookies they baked in the windows of the Philadelphia Gas and Electric Company. Years later, cookie sales went nationwide and the do-si-dos all came to my house.
I'll take some Thin Mints.
Oh, very good. Very good. The nation's oldest brewery is also proud to call the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania home.
I sat down with the Yuengling family to learn more about how Philadelphia played a critical role in their success.
America's oldest brewery sits in a town of some 14,000 people, about a 2-hour drive from Philadelphia.
We make beer, we make it well, and that's our shtick.
It's a simple motto, one that's worked for nearly 200 years. Give or take a few during Prohibition when this place turned to ice cream and near beer. Still,
There's not too many businesses in the United States that are older than this. I mean, we didn't miss George Washington crossing the Delaware by too many years, so.
That's Dick Yuengling, the man at the helm since the mid-'80s. He's the mastermind behind the lager brand.
The further we get away from Pottsville, they can't pronounce our name. Sorry, just call it lager, and by gosh, it's stuck.
Stuck it did. At its very core, Yuengling is a family affair.
The brewery's been in our family for 196 years, and I'm the 5th owner. My kids will be the 6th. What are you guys here for? Give me a hug.
Wendy and Jennifer are Dick's daughters and part of the 6th generation running the family business now, alongside their 2 other sisters.
We each touch a different area of the business, which is very helpful. Working side by side with our dad all these years, we have tremendous respect for what he's built, how he's endured. I mean, seeing what the business was in 1985 versus where we are now with 3 breweries, 28 states. I mean, it's incredible.
A lot of memories on these walls.
Very much so. This is where I grew up in the business, and Jen grew up giving tours, teaching people about our brand, just exposing them to America's oldest brewery.
The sisters started their education on the family business in the gift shop, even giving tours.
This was built on this site in 1831, and these caves were hand dug for natural refrigeration.
But joining their dad and running what is now one of America's largest breweries wasn't always the plan. That conversation still makes Dick emotional.
I took them to Florida and said, are you interested in? And they said, well, we all are. I almost cried, you know, because it could have been the end of the brewery.
Instead, this place has flourished, expanding the portfolio.
It's that disciplined modernization, innovation, and continue to stay true to who we are. You can't react to every fad. We've learned that. We've seen it in the industry.
As the country celebrates its 250th birthday, Wendy and Jennifer reflect on Yuengling's part in America's story.
You have an opportunity to stop and think about it and reflect on America's 250th and us being a part of that for almost 200 years. It's very humbling.
For all of us here, we thank you so very much for watching our Found It in Philly special.
Philadelphia is family, a proud family, and the proud foundation of this nation. Take care, fam, and good night.